Another thing that I wanted to point out is that even as Black people, kings and queens reside here. One of my favorite kings that I love talking about, King Shaka Zulu. This man welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to day 2 of Black History Month, y'all. We are turning up all Black History Month. And just like I told y'all yesterday, we're going to be talking about today the lovely, ever so famous motherland, honey. We're going to be talking about Africa, honey. And one of the things that we have to remember about Africa is that as African Americans, our ancestral line does not begin here in the United States. It does indeed, in fact, begin from Africa. Y'all stay tuned and check out this good juicy video. Not gonna hold y'all long now, but we got something to talk about today. Africa, a place that is rich in culture. Africa, a place that is rich in heritage. Africa, a place that is rich in resources. Africa, a place that is rich in love and unity. A place that taught not only our ancestors, but as we look to them today, it's a place that taught us how to truly love who we are, to love ourselves. That's the reason that when we talk about the history of Black people in this country, we do not begin their journey with slavery because they were not born as slaves. They were Native African people born in different regions of the continent. Eastern Africa, North Africa, South Africa, and West Africa. People here have their own way of life. So I want to take you all back to previously before slave ships supposedly left Africa in 1619, which we know is actually earlier than that when the slave ship did leave there, but we're not talking about that today. Today we're going to be talking about the heritage and culture and the ways of Native African people. For my family, found out that my blood lineage actually derives from Nigeria, that's located in West Africa. And most people in West Africa have only, what I say, ancestors that came over to this country, unfortunately, through the trade. But West Africa is rich in culture. The thing that I want to make sure that I clarify too for you all is that when we look at the storyline, a lot of different people in Africa spoke many languages. It is a record recording over 7,000 languages are on the continent of Africa. Not to mention, ladies and gentlemen, if you look at what history books tells us, it also shows that for a lot of these Native African men, women, and children, at the ripe age of 15, a young Black boy was considered to be a man. You all probably remember on that movie Roots when they showed that young Kunta Kinte was taken away by his father in the village, take them to actually go about training how to be a man, what it meant and what it took to become a man. So those are some of the few traditions that they held most dear over there on the continent of Africa. Another thing that I wanted to point out is that even as Black people, kings and queens reside here. One of my favorite kings that I love talking about, King Shaka Zulu. This man literally took over nations. He took over villages. He grew his army from a mere ripe of 1,500 to over 100,000. Single-handedly, this man did this. Now, of course, he had help. This ruler, this man, by himself. Not to mention that he was an illegitimate child. So his mother and father were not married when they conceived him. And at first, actually, they were in exile. Now, they were in exile. The sad part is, when you look at this entire dynamic, a lot of people don't realize the royalty that we come from. A lot of people don't realize that the journey for our people, living on our own soil, the livelihood that we had, the heritage. Speaking of heritage, how many of y'all love rocking them dashikis, honey? Woo! The dashikis is a part now of, you can truly say, the Black American custom. They were really, really popular back in the late 60s and early 70s. But in our native homeland in Africa, they would wear different forms of kente cloth. You see me having one right now on my neck. And with a lot of the people that were there, you have to understand some things. People in Africa, y'all, when I say they carry themselves with pride, honey, you can't tell a Nigerian woman nothing. You ever notice that? themselves with a certain different level of dignity, a self-assurance and confidence that you truly are born with. They instill that in their children, which is why you can definitely see, like, when a lot of them come up here to this country, wonder how they got the confidence to wear and do and say certain stuff, honey. It's because they've already been conformed, and they've already been, if you will, they've already had instilled in them that you should be proud of who you are, regardless of what any other individual may say about you. But I just wanted to touch on that really quickly, because a lot of us are wearing the head wraps now. A lot of us are wearing the dashikis. A lot of us are wearing the dresses and the shirts and the pants. And I want us to remember where exactly it comes from. I want us to get in the habit of wearing these things and doing these things and saying, like, oh yes, I'm wanting to pay tribute to my native ancestors in Africa. And you don't even take a minute to look up information about the continent. That you don't even take a minute to look up. Here's the thing. Dozens of celebrities and stars have went to Africa because they wanted to visit the homeland. Ari Lennox has been there. One of my great favorite civil rights actors from back in the day, the late great Malcolm X, also visited Africa, connecting to their roots. And I encourage each and every last one of you all to go back home at some point, not now, but hopefully when the Lord does relieve us from this terrible virus, us will be able to make a trip over there. I know I want to visit Nigeria deeply, surely, and from the bottom of my heart, I want to visit there because I really want to see what it was like to actually be in a place where my roots dive deep in. And, you know, that's really pretty much all I had for you all today, to briefly just touch on Africa, because I know a lot of people, they don't begin our journey in story with talking about Africa. And I wanted to make sure that each and every last one of you all did. This is important. I need you all to understand this. I need you all to truly wrap this around your fingers. And I need you to get on board with understanding that this here is entirely necessary. So you all be sure to stay tuned tomorrow for day 3 of Black History Month. I hope that you all have enjoyed this first video talking about Africa. And I want you all to definitely stay tuned for all that is so much more to come. You all please remember what I always say. Remember to always to stay up and to also stay blessed. Y'all be easy and have a wonderful day. Power to the people. Woo! Yeah.